ice in your face, it's freezing cold. And then when we were practicing on the harness, when you pull the harness, you just get the biggest wedgie in history. And then you float in the cold for like 10 minutes, shivering. So what's fun about that? I'm cold. I don't like cold. I don't jump, like I wouldn't jump in a lake that's -5. Fuck, I don't jump out of a plane that's -5. It's fucking cold. And then I looked around at the skydiving room. So I always thought people who jumped out of planes were like badass. Like I imagined the skydiving school would be full of like military types. Or dudes like me, you know, like supreme specimens of man. But it was actually full of fucking geeks. I'm talking about 20 full-grown men sitting around a TV screen looking at videos of their last jump where they were doing patterns, discussing patterns. 20 full-grown men. Why did you choose that insult? Why do you call people worms? And it's very, very clear to me, at least, why I call people worms. Worm is a pointless creature. The only reason a worm exists is so that bigger, more important animals can eat something. They don't do anything. They can't see. They sit in the dirt and they just move around in the dirt and they try and hide a little bit and then a bird eats them. And most people live their lives as worms. Most of you are worms. You don't do anything important. You're just living in your shit life, living your little dirt, just sitting there wriggling, hoping an eagle doesn't come along to fuck you up. And if an eagle did come along, you couldn't even defend yourself. A worm has no claws, hasn't even got, like a skunk can spray smelly piss or something. A worm has zero defensive mechanism. A worm is absolutely and utterly useless. I've never heard of a story of valor that involves a worm. I'm at the guy's house. I've actually known him for a long time. I've known him since school. And we're sitting there chilling. And I was there for about 6 hours. And he's like, yeah, it'd be nice one day. Anyway, I'm hungry. You want something to eat? I was like, nah, I'm fine, bro. So he gets his ass up. He's a full-grown man. And he starts to cook himself something to eat. And everybody knows the age-old adage, time is what? Money. Money! That's right, time is money. You're gonna spend time preparing food. The last thing you should be doing with your time is cooking. I can't think of a lower ROI activity. Ooh, an onion. Well, let me get the onion. I'm gonna start cooking. Fridge. Onion. Some lettuce. Now, knife. My knife. Cut my onion. Cut my onion. You're wrong! Man, he looked normal, looked like a normal dude. And we're going through the menu. What do we want to eat? What do we want to eat? Steak, veal. Go through the menu. And he sits there and he says, I think I'll try the sushi.
Sushi? You're a sushi eater.
There's no power in sushi.
Literally, what? Your chopsticks? Oh, chop. Yeah.
Look at this power. This comes from the food I eat. You're telling me you're gonna get power from sushi? A little piece of fluffy fish, some rice in a circle, raw fish.
I like it. What do you mean? He doesn't understand. It's about fried chicken, man.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What kind of full-grown adult deliberately, non-accident, deliberately eats sushi? I caught my brother ordering sushi to the house. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Right, people. My first ever shower on a plane. This is my huge, spacious bathroom. I'm gonna have to try and do this video without getting my massive cock all over the camera. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Tate's rich, tall, strong, smart. Surely you can't have a big dick too. Yep. Sorry to break it to you. If you were to see my dick, it would hurt you more than seeing my bank balance. You guys would be devastated. So I'm gonna try my best to not get my massive wang on camera for my airplane shower. I am gonna get naked because I'm not getting into my fucking clothes, am I? Right. Trying to avoid mirrors. not. I first made my millions of dollars. The first time I ever became a millionaire was with Webcam Studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is how I first ever made money. I mean, I was a kickboxing world champion, but kickboxing's not boxing, right?
Yeah.
So I'd make like $100,000 a fight. You fight 2 or 3 times a year. You pay 20% to your manager. You pay taxes, but you're not rich.
So you get like 30 to 40% of the money.
Yeah, and I didn't consider myself rich. Like 30, 40 grand chunks, but twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. Living in London. London rents, you need a car. You try, like you're not rich in any way. And that's actually the reason I retired, because I woke up one day and I thought, I'm giving 6 hours a day of absolute focus and energy to this. And I believe I'm smart enough that if I put that much tenacity into something else, I can be a multimillionaire. I truly believe that. I was like, I've realized now I've reached the pinnacle of kickboxing. My choice is either to change over to MMA, which I was offered to do earlier in my career, but at the time, the kickboxing contract paid more money. I had to pay the bills, so I went kickboxing. With my genius mind. The amazing thing that happens, like, use my amazing, super powerful mind to think of things. I'm super smart. And I've come to the conclusion that YouTube take the piss. YouTube really are far worse than most people think of them to be. That's not just because they banned me. How can you ban me? Whatever. But it was them banning me that woke me up to the hypocrisy and the audacity of the slave trade they've been running for an extremely long time. Think about it. They're basically at this point plantation owners, right? And they're plantation owners without honor, without a swath of it. Because what they do is as follows. They build some software, they build a website, some dorks. Cool. Then they get all this content produced for free. Think about like Netflix and these other streaming services. They have to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in production. When I watch Netflix, which is very rare, it's trash. There's nothing good on it. But when I try and watch it for, let's say, an afternoon, I'll tear through what? $85 million worth of content in an afternoon? And by the end of it, go, shit, give me more. They can't give more. They have to produce it. It takes time. It takes a whole bunch of money. YouTube don't have to do that, right? You're the product for YouTube. You go and do all of the work. You're YouTube's production company. You get up, you take your time, your ideas, your money, your effort, you do it all for them. Then you put it on YouTube. Now, if it's ultra successful and starts to make some money, then yeah, you can make a little bit of money. But if it doesn't make shit, then YouTube doesn't lose anything. So the risk reward for YouTube is perfect, right? Because if it's fantastic, they win. And if it's shit, they don't lose. Only you lose. So they can't lose either way. They don't give a fuck. It's not like Netflix producing a show that was a bomb and they lose money. Not at all. All the responsibility, all the liability, all the risk is on you. On to the point. We're in Ukraine because I'm a brilliant individual. I'm an exceptional individual. Most people are proud of having one thing. Like, oh, I go to the gym all the time. I'm strong. Yeah, I'm stronger than them. Or do I try and go a little bit lower key so I can do the things I used to do? Most people don't understand. There's a few people who understand my history. Sorry, when I see 3 people walking, 3 dudes of combat age walking, I identify them in real time because I'm that guy. Most people don't know my history. People know, oh, I sold a little bit of drugs, I did this, I did that. People wouldn't believe the shit I've been through and the things I've done to become the man I am. But I'm now at a point now where I'm sitting going, do I go to Singapore and collect that Bitcoin myself, or can I send somebody else to do it? Do I go collect that cash myself, or can I send somebody else to do it? Do I want to send that sexy bitch knows somebody who I need to know? Do I go moose that bitch myself, or do I send somebody else to do it? I need a James.
People have no fucking concept of how busy I am. If I go on my Instagram inbox, I am so ridiculously busy. And they'll message me things like, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, bro. How are you? I don't have time for that. What do you want? And I'm saying this with respect. Get to the fucking point. Tate, I need this. Or Tate, can we do this? Don't be like, Tate, how you been? I know it's polite. I get that. I don't care about polite. I do not have time. My brain is better used elsewhere. So I'm scanning through. I'm trying to pick out the pussy, the hot chicks. Just, yep, hottie, accept, hottie, accept, hottie, accept. Accepting all the hot girls. And then all the dudes with what they want and shit. Get to the point. So my Instagram's basically fucked now because the inbox is fucked. Everyone's just messaging me fucking pure shit. It's fucked. Into hell, and the devil's like, oh, I'm gonna burn you. So you're gonna do shit, pussy. Well, I'm gonna stand there and let you burn me. Look like a bitch. No, I'm not like these fucking mask wearers. No, you ain't burning me. You touch me, I'll fuck you up. So would it have been fun to be the king of hell or an angel in heaven?
I'm looking at these atheists, and they're all just dorks, or just nerds, or, I mean, Christians are nerds too. It's hard, but all the complete degeneracy you see in the world nowadays is done in the name of atheism, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that some basic things like family, man, woman, children, etc., that only seems to be the religious people. Only religious people are propagating these ideals. So I don't want to be an atheist anymore. I look what the atheists are doing and they've just gone nuts. Turns out being religious to God is far better than being religious to any of the other options out there. So I've decided I no longer want to be an atheist.
Our graves are the same size. You don't need that Lambo. Be humble. Our graves are the same size.
What? Do absolutely nothing with my life because one day I'm going to die? Sit around and be like you, a broke boy, because one day I'm going to die? That's the most pathetic justification. I'm on fucking Twitter or Facebook. I'm flexing on the broke boys, cars, money, champagne. There's always one pussy.
Our graves are the same.
What? What does that have to do? Our graves being the same size, although it's false, because I guarantee I'll have a bigger grave than one. Not that it matters, but I'll do it anyway, just to flex on you in my death for eternity. Blessed be what thy flex. I explained this to someone, some bumbacla, and of course he replied with the typical,
But I don't like sparkling.
you don't like sparkling water? You don't like water?
Yeah, but the bubbles.
The bubbles? You scared of bubbles, you little bitch? It doesn't taste of anything. It has bubbles in it. Or you're afraid of bubbles? What the fuck is wrong with you? This dude who plays Incredible Hulk, I saw on his Twitter, he was wearing a pro-feminism t-shirt. Bro, you're the Incredible Hulk. You think the Incredible Hulk gives a fuck about feminism? You're the Incredible Hulk! Oh, wait, oh, feminist. It's just ridiculous. There's only one man left who's an action hero. Do you know who that person is? I'm the last action hero. I'm the last guy you see who's big and strong and muscly, fucking women, who can fight, who doesn't take shit from nobody, driving around in supercars. It's only me. They've even ruined Bond. We've talked about this already. I am the last guy left, the last vestige of masculinity in the Western world. And that's only going to exist as long as this channel exists. I'm surprised we haven't been fucking banned yet. I don't know why they're still letting me talk. But here I am. If you are a parent and you have a young son, or if you're a young guy, what you need to do is ban Hollywood. Even with a knife, they're useless. My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. And what that basically means is unmatched perspicacity, my ability to perceive things at an unmatched level, coupled with sheer indefatigability, my ability to never become tired. So I can perceive and I never become tired, makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. Stay back! Like that's what he said to me. So I was like, fuck. So I just stood there and watched this fight go down. Anyway, the guys were hitting my father. My dad ended up with his teeth in the guy's face. The guy he grabbed, he sunk his teeth into his face, and they were hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. Eventually, one of them got a bottle and hit my dad on the head, and his knees went. He didn't fall. His knees went. His head started to bleed. He let go, and he kind of turned, and all four of them were facing one way, and they ran out the store. And I remember my dad's face was badly bruised, really badly fucked up. His head's all bleeding. You know what jizz means in English?
No, please.
No? Good. I'll enlighten you, don't worry about that. Spirit jizz. First we'll take you to the spirit world. Here. Come on, new spirit world. Ooh, I'm so deep. Ooh, don't mess with this stuff. It so messes with your mind. Ooh. Jizz fest. Say jizz. Say jizz. Look at the camera and say jizz.
What do you say?
Look at the camera and say jizz. J-I-Z-Z.
Jizz?
Jizz, yeah, say jizz.
Jizz? Jizz?
Jizz.
What is that?
Listen.
Yeah. Why is he laughing? Why is he laughing? What does it mean?
You're entering the spirit world.
You're in the spirit world, just drink your vodka.
Yeah, you're in the spirit world.
Well, also, there's no light without dark, and there's no joy without pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. Exactly. And no matter how hard you chase pleasure and happiness, there's going to be dips and troughs in between. There's going to be come downs and downtrends, and you're going to have the juxtaposition between that time you were laughing your head off and acting giddish like a child, and the time that you feel depressed as such. And I think it's much better to just adopt a very disciplined, stoic mindset. I'm always the same base level of happy regardless. If I lost all of my money today, I would be the same happy. If my net worth quadrupled, I'd be the same happiness.
Yeah.
As long as I am alive, which is a struggle, unfortunately, in the current climate. But as long as I'm alive and the people I care about and love are alive, and as long as God gives me the honor of doing my duties and providing for the people I care about, as long as I get to wake up and know that there's a whole bunch of people in the world who need me and I get to work hard to please them and do good for society and good for the world, then I'm a vessel of God, and I'm happy enough to survive. That's all I look at it as. I don't ever consider how do I feel. That doesn't cross my mind. I have things to do. I have things to do.
You're too busy to think about it.
I'm too busy. I have things to do every single day. I have very important things to do, and how I feel really is not going to affect how I complete those tasks.
Right.
And when I speak to men, they say I'm unhappy or I need to be happier. I think that's absolutely the wrong frame of life. You're a man, you have duty, you have honor, you have things you should be doing regardless of how you feel. And the people who are perma-obsessed with happiness or sadness, I just think it's the wrong paradigm to view the lens of life. I think you should get up and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, man. You're a positive influence, man. I don't know what's all the stuff, man. You're just reinforcing positivity in people.
I'm absolutely a positive influence, and that's the problem. The key word there is influence. The reason the Matrix has attacked me is because of that. It's because I am an influence.
Yeah.
And when
They don't like influence.
They don't like influence